just scrape the sea of stars. My roots dig deep into this world of ours, and I'm grounded, grounded. My reality is what I perceive, what I attract into my orbit. Worries fade into the haze. The air feels different this time around. Different this time around. Hi everyone. I just wanted to let you know that I've decided to start a new channel. The channel is called Time Will Tell Astrology on YouTube, and it will be strictly for weekly readings of the sky so that we can really keep track of what's happening in the sky. And it's not so much about decoding reality or going into history too much. It's just strictly a reading about the sky, and I use some of my software to show you how I do my readings as well for you, like how the written reading is done. And so that's what I prepared, and I just want to post it here on this channel, and I want you to go to the link below so you can subscribe and start to follow me on the Time Will Tell Astrology channel. So it's for sidereal readings of the sky, and I explain how that works and why it's so important to follow sidereal astrology. So I hope you enjoy the new channel. I will still continue to post on crystal-tyme because I like to decode, and I know other people enjoy the decodes, so I will continue to do that, and it's going to be lots of fun as I finish my book, because a lot of my decoding work is in the book and I haven't been able to share it with you yet. So once I can share all that with you, it's going to be a lot more fun with the decodes. But until then, I'm going to be doing these sidereal readings once a week. Hi everyone. Welcome to my new channel, strictly for astrology. I will be doing a weekly reading tying into astrotheology and also showing everyone where everything is in the actual sky, which is known as sidereal astrology. And I encourage everyone to get a sky map. You can put an app on your phone and go outside and just put that up to the sky. You can do it during the day or the, evening if you have a bright sky and you can actually see things with the naked eye. And you can actually confirm that sidereal astrology is actually following the actual sky. Okay, so tropical astrology was created thousands of years ago, and it doesn't take into account that the sky loses time over long periods of time. So every 72 years the sun falls back about 1 degree, causing it to not actually be in the same location on the constellations. So over time our whole calendar doesn't align traditionally to where it used to be in the sky. So that's why tropical astrology, has its teachings, but it doesn't actually take on the energies of what's really happening outside. It's like you're kind of stuck in time from a long time ago. So your emotions are being pulled up from the past. So the way I see it is, it's like you kind of are hanging on to old pain from your ancestral line rather than moving forward to where things are happening today in the sky. So it's very important to understand that and to have confidence in sidereal astrology. Now, tomorrow, September 8th, is a very important day. It's the birthday of the Virgin Mary, and that to me is very sacred because she had the Immaculate Conception, where she was born, through spirit with her mother, same as her birth to Jesus. Okay, so even though I'm not strictly a Christian, I do have Christian beliefs, And I also have astrotheology beliefs, which goes into the ancient mystery schools, and this ties into more like pagan goddesses. So I just kind of see it all as one, because many of the pagan sites that we call pagan sites, they actually built cathedrals for Christianity on top of them. So I just believe it's all following the sky. Okay, so I don't have what's right and what's wrong. And, you know, some people want to put things in boxes, but for me, I'm trying to break through those boundaries and just understand that we're following the sky, and we, as above, so below, we are taking on those energies, and we need to learn how to use those energies and how to heal ourselves and to work with the energies to understand why sometimes you have you know, issues in your body. So there's a whole way of using astrology that can benefit you. But what's really happening, which was really exciting, this new comet got discovered. It's called the Nishimura comet. It just got discovered last month. And you should be able to see it with binoculars or the naked eye early in the morning this weekend. So that's really exciting, and I'm going to show you exactly where in the sky it's going to be, which constellation it's going into, which also ties into Mary's birth. So let's get into this. So here we have the comet coming, and they're saying it only swings by the sun every 437 years. So we're never going to see this again in this lifetime. It will be 33 kilometers, 20 miles from the sun, which is less than the quarter of distance between Earth and the sun. For stargazers, the comet will be easily to observe on Saturday and Sunday, particularly in the northern hemisphere. The best thing to do is look at the sky before sunrise, kind of like looking for the morning star. So you want to get up before the sun comes up, and you'll be able to see it in that direction, in a northeastern direction to the left of Venus, in a clear sky, free of pollution. You'll be able to see it. People with small binoculars will easily be able to enjoy the spectacular, but if conditions allow, the comet may be visible by the naked eye. And the comet will have a green tail, okay? So that's really cool. So I think that's pretty amazing, okay, is that we're going to have the ability to see this comet this weekend, okay? So we'll pass closest to the sun on September 17th, but they're saying it's this weekend, I believe. Yeah, this thing to observe on this Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, so it's this weekend. So here I wanted to just mark to show you where it is. Okay, it's actually in Leo right now, and that's why they're saying left of Venus, and the sun, okay, is just, you know, coming up. So the constellations move this way. So on the eastern horizon, it will be the sun below the ground, and you'll see the comet, and you'll see it just behind Venus. Okay, so that's this weekend for sure. Okay, so now as time moves on, it does shift, but I also want to go into what's happening on Mary's birthday, okay, so, and how that's going to affect us, okay? We have Saturn in Aquarius, Chiron, which is the wound that you have to learn to heal from, is in Pisces, and it's in Pisces actually until 2028, the spring of 2028. So we're going through a lot of motions right here with the Chiron in the house of our psyche and our dark night of our soul, and it can make you feel like the world isn't fair, okay? And that's what we're all in right now until 2028. And then Jupiter is in Aries, which is your crown chakra, so that's positive, okay? But there's lots of things that are in retrograde, and I've pulled the wheel up as well, so we'll go through the wheel, and I'll show you that which ones are in retrograde. I think there's 9 in retrograde right now, so it's pretty heavy energies because they're intense, right? When these slow-moving planets are in retrograde, they're just hanging there for so long, so their energies are really intense. Okay? When the fast-moving planets are Venus and Mercury, because they hop around and move with the sun, they're weaker. okay? But these slow ones in retrograde are pretty intense. Uranus is in Aries, actually, hasn't quite gotten into Taurus because Taurus actually starts around here. And so they're both Uranus and Jupiter in the crown chakra. Uranus has a lot to do with freedom, right? And innovation, not really of this realm. And Venus is there in Cancer, so that's in the family house, okay? Cancer rules the family house. It's the mother's milk. So that's really important with the Virgin Mary's birthday, okay? So it's very, very, very heavily feminine time right now, okay? And then on, this is all on November 14th, the sun has the new moon right on Zavijava, which is the sun at the head of the Our Lady, okay? Which ties into Revelations. And you can start to see the comet now is getting close to the sun, like they said, to September 17th, passing very close by the sun. It comes back through here, through Virgo. So this is a very feminine comet, right? We're going to see it here at the head of Virgo and coming through and passing by Mars. So here we see it now. It's conjunct with Mars. And this is on the fall equinox, September 23rd. And Persephone's there, the goddess of the underworld. And she's under the Virgin, which is also in a way her, okay? So Persephone has an aspect of Virgo, okay? She is the goddess, and Virgo is the goddess in the sky on the zodiac, and she's underneath. So this is really intense, again, about going inward and going into the feminine womb, okay? And trying to nurture and go through all your healing. Okay, so this is all very feminized, what's happening. Now, I wanted to put Hecate in here because she's the goddess of the crossroads, you know, when you have to decide which way you're going. And she's in the Lion's Gate, which is right between the constellation ruled by the moon, the only one, and the only constellation ruled by the sun, Leo. So this is the Lion's Gate, okay? And so this, you know, she's in there. Okay, so that's very, very important. The Lion's Gate is 8/8. Okay, it starts on August 8th. So there's some astrologers saying, like, you know, that's just all New Age stuff, da 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 da. But that's when the sun is in there in this gate. Okay, so that the number 88 is the Lion's Gate for that reason. If you're following tropical, you won't know that. You'll think the sun is actually over here. Okay, or yeah, so you're just going to get thinking the sun is in a different place. Actually, you're going to think it's way over in Leo when it's going in the Golden Gate. And it's just actually passing through the Golden Gate. And you're going to think it's over here, okay, when you're following tropical. So we have Venus in Cancer and we have Hecate there. So again, very feminine, all coming through into this fall. And we have a Mercury-Sun conjunction. So this is all to do with your mind, communication as well, as we get into this weekend, and that is good. But Mercury is retrograde, so the communication is going to be a little bit blocked, but it has a lot to do with your mind, right? So your mind is going to be really activated in the sun in Leo, the Lion King, okay? And let's continue here. We also have Mnemosyne. This is the mother of the Muses, and I'm going to be doing the Muses class on September 22nd, I believe. I'm going to try to get that class out to you guys. And this is really important, and it's very significant as well, because the number 9 is very important, but the serpent is very important, right? Because Mary stands on the serpent, okay? She holds the serpent and is going to control the serpent. And this is very important, that Mnemosyne, the mother of the Muses, is on the serpent's head. So again, very kind of feminized towards Mary's birthday. Okay? Very, very important to understand the energies here. Okay? This is all very feminine energies. Now, Hecate ties to the 9 keys as well, and they're right here. I'm not going to read through them all, but you can look at them and understand that it does all tie into the number 9. And why? Because a child, it takes 9 months to birth a child. It's a very feminine number. Okay, so that's all very important as well. Now, I want to go over these retrograde planets. Okay, so we have Jupiter. I just, put the constellation. I just found the time. This is at like almost to 9 o'clock at night. Okay, 8:55, where I just wanted to put Aries in its own house, first house. A lot of people believe that Aries isn't the crown chakra, but this is the house of self. It's your head. Okay, you are yourself, your face, and that's the crown chakra. Okay, and I just lined them here so you can see the color coded lining up. Okay, and in sidereal astrology, our constellations are not marked out for 30 days each the same because they're not in the sky. So we take that into consideration, and it's just a pure map of the sky. This is at the east, this is at the west, you're facing south. Okay, when you go out, if you were facing south and you look to the east at this time, you would see Aries rising out of the ground. Okay, that's your ascendant. Your descendant is coming down here, which would be Virgo and Libra, okay, on the west. It's not heavily, the aspects are not super negative. The blue lines are always complementing each other. The red lines are more in opposition, where there's a bit of a tug of war, but they're not super heavy. It's not a really intense time to the sense that it's a negative. It's just there's a lot of healing going on here, okay? And the healing with Chiron in Pisces, which Pisces rules the 12th house, that's a really heavy wound. And we're in that, like I said, to 2028. Pisces isn't, it has Chiron in it. Okay, so there's a lot of healing that has to happen. And the mother is where you want to heal yourself, right? You go to your mother for healing. So Jupiter is here in retrograde in the first, well, I don't want to say it's in the first house because I just picked this time, put it there, okay? It's in Aries, which is your crown chakra, which is the first house, okay? Uranus is in Taurus, okay? Also retrograde. The moon is in Gemini. Venus, like I showed you, is in Cancer, so very feminine, home, family. Mercury is almost conjunct the sun in Leo, with the sun in Leo. Mars is in Virgo on the hero star, the Promera star. And Pluto is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules the higher mind, so your soul is in the higher mind. We're supposed to be learning right now. He will go into Capricorn in about 2024. And that's exactly one cycle since the founding of the United States. So that's very, very important. Okay, he's done one loop around since the founding. And that's your soul's path. And we have Saturn in retro, so that's really heavy energies there as well in Aquarius. And Neptune also retrograde in Pisces. And Neptune rules Pisces. So he's there quite a long time too. I think just 2046 he's in Pisces, because Pisces is a big constellation. So I just wanted to show you that visually, so you have the visual of it. And then I put this reading together, and we're not doing the houses, we're just doing where the planets are, where they are in the constellation. Okay, so Jupiter in Aries, which is your house of self, if you want to understand, first house is ruled by Aries. Okay, you can make what you want happen in life with a positive attitude, and you relish competition, and you don't like to wait for things to happen. You like doing things on your own, and that way when you produce the best results, you do it well, and you're the leader, and you are being daring and courageous. So Aries is ruled by Mars, so there's lots of energy there, and Jupiter is very lucky and positive. Okay, so you can use these energies to do something positive at this time. Uranus and Taurus, you seem like someone that's easy to be around, but you actually have a stubborn side to you. And the more you stick to your position, the worse it gets. So learn to be flexible. And you can make things happen using innovative, original methods. So that's understanding yourself to not get too stubborn at this time. Okay, the moon moves quickly, so it's not in Gemini very long. Okay, only a couple of days, but Gemini likes to talk. So if you find yourself talking a lot right now, that's why. Okay, and it likes to be intellectually stimulated and keep busy because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is your mind. Okay, so you can get easily bored and get cranky when you're bored. Okay, so it also says don't wall yourself off. Okay, usually if you're unhappy, it's because you don't have enough to do or you don't feel like your life is changing the way you want it to. Because Gemini likes change, right? Because it's like the twins. Okay, so it likes to be, moving quickly with lots of change. Venus in Cancer, you tend to be more emotional in your relationships, though you may not be very mature about it. Okay, and you can get moody and avoid your partners when upset and need to work on not being passive aggressive with your partners when you want to get your way. Okay, so you want a partner that's loyal to you and the relationship and who can comfort you and show you lots of sweet affection. Yeah, so that's where the mothering and the affection comes through. You're also afraid that they'll leave you. So you need someone who can reassure you that that won't happen. And when you feel secure, because Cancer likes security because it's the home, you bloom and are most encouraging, supportive, and caring partner anyone can ask for. Now we have Mercury and Leo. You talk with flair because Mercury rules the house of Gemini, which is communication, third house. So you like to talk and you command people's attention. You express yourself with warmth and this gets people on your side. You're strongly connected to your beliefs, stubbornly so at times. So we have a little bit of stubbornness going on, right? With how you speak, and then Uranus is also, kind of stuck. So there's lots of pride going on in the world. Lots of healing needing to be done. And you need to express yourself and maybe a creative person. And you can be a great speaker with passion and flair. Okay, so you need to watch for believing that your thoughts, opinions, and ideas are better than everyone else's and be more open to what other people have to contribute. If you have a proper outlet for expression, this can be curbed. So make sure you're not holding anything in and properly expressing yourself. So that's really important. You have to be really creative at this time because Leo rules the house of creativity. Okay, it's everything that's close to your heart. So if your mind is not being creative, you're going to get stubborn and, kind of be proud and stuck. Okay, so you need to take those energies and move it into creativity. And that way you'll feel better and you'll be more fluid with other people. Okay, we have the sun is in the 5th house with Mercury. Okay, so that's all about your creativity. So with the sun being there, right, this weekend, right, it's not going to stay there long. You need to express yourself in some way in the utmost importance to you. If you don't feel as though you're truly expressing yourself, you're going to feel stifled and unhappy. And you want to be seen and heard and to get attention from others. So you're drawn to the spotlight and can go into the arts, especially theater. So it's all about being creative, having fun, and being like going out for dinner and shopping, all those things that are dear to your heart. You're going to feel that over the weekend. Okay. Now we have Mars and Virgo. You're very busy because Virgo likes to be very organized, very clean. So if you find yourself, I'm going to be cleaning out some sheds, and I'm feeling that need to get organized. Okay, so that's part of this Mars energy because Mars is your energy field. Okay, it's like he's your power, and when he's there, he's going to want you to do lots of things and kind of get your energy moving in a constructive way. Okay, so there are times when you can stretch yourself too thin though and need to learn your limits. If you give yourself some breaks, that's good. You generally avoid conflict and try to keep the peace, but you are sensitive to what people say, and when you get mad, you can pick them apart. You require lots of structure and order, likely having to set a daily routine as a way of making sure you don't have to deal with the little stuff. So you like to have everything organized, like I said. Okay, and if you don't, it can lead to nervous energy, and that can give you problems with your stomach. Okay, so with Mars being in your stomach right now, if you don't use his energies in a positive, organized way, you could, have problems. Okay, so Pluto, your soul, is in Sagittarius, the higher mind, right? So you learn through life experience and you challenge people to be open to new beliefs, and you need freedom, adventure, and are optimistic about the future. So that's good. We do have that optimism, okay? And then Saturn is in Aquarius. So you can come up with innovative ideas, but not stray too far from the norm. You may not think there's much to look forward to in life when young. Trying to help humanity may be important to you. You want friends, but you can be emotionally distant and lack intimate relationships. Okay, and people born in the mid-60s, Saturn was in Aquarius. Okay, so if you feel like your relationships, you're always a little bit distant with your relationships, it's partly because of that, because Aquarius rules the house of networking, the 11th house, and it has to do with your friendships. Okay, and it doesn't mean you don't care about those people, but you're just not, always like calling them and stuff. You have this kind of distance about you. Okay, and it's the Aquarian age, right? It's about being innovative and kind of stepping away, stepping out of this realm. Okay, so that's why that tends to be there. Yeah, this is Aquarius is all about networking. Okay, so Saturn is kind of making you want to help humanity, but a little bit from a distance. Okay, so Neptune in Pisces, like I said, is there for a very long time. You can sacrifice whatever it takes to help other people. You're spiritual, attracted to the mystical and the metaphysical, and are inspired by the arts, and you see things more clearly than others through your intuition. So that's why everybody's intuition is turning on right now. And the mystical and the metaphysical is getting a strong push because Neptune came into Pisces, I think, I don't know, it was a year ago or so. And so he's there for a long time. So this is all helping. I see him a little bit like the Jesus character. Okay, he's a metaphysical guy. He's all about intuition. Okay, or you have a hard time grasping reality because your emotions cloud your judgment. That's the negative side. You can have kind of be in a cloud and not seeing things clearly. Okay, sometimes you don't see people clearly, or they don't see you clearly with the Neptune. Okay. And that's going to be with us for quite a while. So lots of discernment needs to happen. And, you can be careful that you don't, do the savior complex. Okay. You sacrifice whatever it takes to help other people to the point where you're always trying to save people, but you're not saving yourself. Okay. So that's the negative side of it. Now, Chiron, this is the one that's kind of intense, until 2028. In Pisces, which is ruled by the 12th house. Okay, this house of psyche, house of ends, it's called. You may think you are isolated or in some way restricted in living a normal life. And I think that's why the realm is causing all these restrictions on us and stuff, is because of Chiron being there. Big institutions could be involved, so like the government could be causing us a restriction to our normal life. Okay, this is an area where you can learn and develop the need to help others in many ways, such as hospitals, prisons, or other large institutions. So we feel like we have to go help the system. Okay? You may be involved in bringing deeply guarded secrets out to the open to benefit humanity, and that's pretty much learning esoteric knowledge, right, and trying to bring that forth. Okay, and you may have the ability to bring out the fullest potentials in these areas. That's the positive side of it. But I know my friend that passed, she had Chiron and she was born in the 60, she was born in 64. She had Chiron, I think in Pisces on her second return. And it's really like thinking like the world's coming to get you, like that you've had a bad rap. You didn't get a fair hand. Okay. And that can really play on you. And so we're kind of all feeling like that right now because Chiron's in Pisces, but if it's in your chart as well, especially your second, your return chart, and you're living that right now, it's going to be doubly as hard. Okay, because you're living it in your chart and then it's happening on the collective. So you're just going to be like, what the heck? And this is just too hard. The hand was a bad hand. you know, and so that's important to understand. So I want to do these kind of weekly readings, and I will bring in, you know, religion and esoteric knowledge to the astrology readings. And I just want to do this every week. This is my new channel, and so you can hopefully subscribe and like, okay, so I can get this channel launched. And this is to help people understand sidereal astrology and to understand the mystical and, you know, the esoteric, and to understand how to use the sky. But I really recommend getting just a simple sky app. Doesn't cost anything. You just load it on your phone, iPad, go out in the sky and start to watch the sky. Okay, if you can't see it because you're in the city, you can see it through the app. That's why, you know, it's very cool that we have that technology now. Okay, so even if you can't see the sky, the computer will show it for you. Okay, so it's an amazing time to be alive, okay? Because you can start to really use the sky to create the positivity in your own life when you know what's going on, okay? Unfortunately, you know, tropical is telling you what's going on in the sky that was a long time ago on this particular day, okay? It's not really what's aligning right now, what's happening. So it makes things very confusing for people, being told you're supposed to be feeling one way when you're not. Okay, so there's lots of, you know, sometimes it does align because maybe it's in a house or it's in your chart or something, and you're catching on. Okay, I do feel like that a bit, but you know, once you understand sidereal astrology, there's no denying it. That's what's ruling this world because it's happening outside, and this is what the elite use. Okay, to become billionaires. And so you have to really understand how it's affecting in your body, how it's affecting, you know, in your everyday life. So you got to be watching where the sun and the moon is. Mercury and Venus, they move around quick, so you got to know where they are so you can benefit from them. But this weekend is very important. We have a comet, and it's the Virgin Mary's channel is in the description box. So please, very divine feminine like and subscribe. You can use them to help me create this new channel to bring people into take some pictures. Astrology. I would love to see help people if you actually aware of what's really happening. Right? I'm hoping I'm going to get to see it. But now, if you know anybody that would like to have a reading, I'm still doing readings. So you all just let them know. Stick around, and you know, if you really want to know yourself from the reality that we're living right now in the sky, and you really want to understand who you are as above, so below, that you can find me at crystal-tyme24@gmail.com to reach me for a reading. You can also check out my website at timewilltellastrology.com. I will be upgrading that website to put the pricing in, but right now the pricing is best to email me, and I can give you all the different options on how to do readings. If you want to do just your natal chart, or if you want to do all the Saturn returns, so you understand your whole life, how it progresses every 29 years, and you basically turn into a whole new person. So these are important understandings so that you can kind of adjust and not, you know, go into this panic mode because all of a sudden you feel like a totally new person when you hit 30 and around 59. So hope you enjoy the channel. Available for reading.